Sairam students, let's begin with the class 8 geography. Children, today we are going to begin with a new chapter of geography, that is chapter number 5, industries. We are doing the first part of this chapter today. Before going to the main topics, let's go through the content of our chapter. In this, first you will see the introduction of industries. Then you will be learning about the classification of industries. Then we will see the factors that are affecting the location of industries. Then you will learn about the industrial system. Even after that, after industrial system, you will be learning about the industrial regions. Then we have the topic industrial disaster. Then after that, we will be learning about the distribution of major industries. In that, we will be learning about the two main, that is iron and steel industry, and then cotton textile industry. So children, let's begin with the introduction first. Now, before coming to the topic, have you ever given a thought to the fact that the notebook that you use, I hope now also you all are having notebook in your hand to write the main points or to jot down something very essential. So have you ever given a thought to the fact that the notebook you use for writing has come to you after a long process of manufacturing? Right? Have you ever thought of it? Or directly you have got the paper in your hand like that only? No, definitely there is a process of manufacturing. In what way that you have got the paper, the notebook in your hand. Now let's see that long process of manufacturing. What is that? See, the very first thing, it started its life. It started means the notebook started its life as part of a tree. Then it was cut down and transported to the pulp mill. Now, children, and try to understand how it started, how the long process has gone in this. So, it started first as a part of a tree. Then it was cut down and transported to the pulp mill. Then that the wood of the tree was processed and converted into the wood pulp. Then what happened to that wood pulp? That wood pulp was mixed with chemicals and finally changed into paper by machines. So this is how the journey begins for the notebook. Then the paper is made in that way through the machines. So after the wood pulp has been mixed with the chemicals and then finally it is turned into the paper by using machines. Then what happened after that? So this paper found its way to the press where ink made from chemicals was used to print the lines on the pages. See, you get the notebooks, either the ruled one or the plain also, right? But after getting the paper, it goes, after coming in the paper form, it get its way towards the press, so that the ink made chemicals, ink made from chemicals that is used to print the lines on the pages. That is the reason you get the ruled pages, ruled notebook in your hand, right? Then that the pages were then bound in the form of a notebook. See, you don't get the loose paper one sheet separately, right? It has been bonded together. All the pages comes together to form to take a form of a notebook. Then after that also these notebooks are packed and then sent to the market for sale. Then finally from that market it goes to the shopkeepers. Then it reaches to your hand. It finally reaches you, right, in the form of the notebook which we use in our day-to-day life. And that is really the essential thing that we have. We are totally dependent on the paper. Though we have technologies advanced, but then too we use the notebook again and again to jot down the important points, right? Many of you try to save in your screens, but then too without notebook we are helpless. So this is what the process of, like, how you get how the long process of manufacturing of paper, then turning it into a notebook. This is what we have seen in this 2-3 slides here. Now after that, what is there? After getting it reaches to our hands, then now the secondary activities or the manufacturing, right? The manufacturing changes the raw materials into the products that is of more value to people. Children, if I will give you the raw material, then you have to convert that raw material in the finished good, right? Then only by going through some processes, then only that will be converted to the to the finished product, and that finished product will have the more value for to the people, right? Whereas if I'll talk about the raw material doesn't have that much value as the final product has. Now here we can say, as you have seen, the pulp was changed into paper and a paper into a notebook, right? So these represent the two stages of the manufacturing process. Which are that two processes here? The paper made from pulp and the cloth made from cotton have had value added to them at every stage of the manufacturing process, right? See children, if you will get the piece of cloth like that, whether you'll be using it for wearing or what? No, definitely. But when the same cotton cloth has been converted to the shirt, or that has been converted in suit, so that can be used for wearing. So its value increases when the same raw material of that cotton cloth converts into the finished product, right? So in that, the value added to them at each stage of the manufacturing process. So in that way we can say, in this way the finished product has more value and utility than the raw material that it is made from. I'll repeat again children, it's important for you to understand. See, the finished product has more value. Utility means you all understand it very well, the usability of that thing, than the raw material that it is made from. So it is essential, like the finished product has a more value and utility than the raw material that it is made from. I hope you have understood this. Now, what is the meaning of the industry? Let's understand that. Industry refers to an economic activity. Why it is called as an economic activity? Because you get the money in return, right? It is the main purpose is to give the employment to the people in the industry, as well as for the earning also, right? So that is concerned. It is an economic activity that is concerned with the production of goods, extraction of minerals, or the provision of services. See, industry is not only based on the production of something, but it is also production of goods, extraction of minerals, or the provision of services. Thus, we can say we have iron and steel industry that is related to the production of goods, okay? And coal mining industries that deals with the extraction of coal. And then we have the tourism industry also, that is the service provider. So we'll repeat again. So industry refers to an economic activity that is concerned with the production of goods in the form of, you can say, the iron and steel industry example, extraction of minerals, you can say coal mining industry, or the provision of services, we can talk about the tourism industry, right? So you understood the meaning of industry. It is an economic activity that gives you the money in the form of employment, right? So now children, after learning with the introduction, the next topic that we are going to deal with is the classification of industries. Now industries can be classified on the basis of raw materials, on the basis of size, on the basis of ownership. Other classification for each and every type is like industries on the base of raw materials will be classified, may be classified as the agro based industries, mineral based industries, marine based industries, and forest based industries. That is on the basis of the type of raw materials, okay? Then on the basis of the size, it will be classified as the small scale industries and the large scale industries. Then on the basis of ownership, It will be classified as the private sector industries, state owned or the public sector. In the state owned or the public sector is the same thing. Public sector industries, joint sector industries, and cooperative sector industries. So children, for each and every type we'll be learning in detail in our next session. We will be learning the meaning also, as well as the examples of each and every type of industries, that is based on the classification of raw materials, size and ownership. So children, in today's session you have seen the introduction, right? In that you have learnt about the life journey of a notebook. In that we saw a notebook starts its life as a part of a tree, then it was cut down and sent to the pulp mill. Then the wood is converted into wood pulp and mixed with chemicals. This is changed into paper by using the machines. Then again ink is used to print the text or the pictures or the lines on these pages, right? So in these pages then are bonded together to form a notebook. Then all is packed and sent to the market for sale. Then from there it reaches to your hands, right? Then this is what we have seen, the change of raw material into products of more value is called as the manufacturing. You have learned about the manufacturing process here. Then the example here we have seen the pulp changed into paper and then into a notebook or a book, right? Then we have seen that also the finished product has more value as utility added to them at each stage of manufacturing, right? Paper made from pulp, that was also an example, or the shirt made from the cotton have value added to them, right? I told you if I'll give you the cotton cloth, that is not much more useful to you, but if the same cloth has been converted to the shirt, that has got much more value for you, right? Then we saw the meaning of the term industry. Industry, it is an economic activity that is related to the production of goods, that is iron and steel industry. Example we can say for the production of goods is iron and steel. Then or extraction of minerals, that can be the example for this is coal mining industry. Then the provision of services also come under this, that is the tourism. Okay, so this is what you have understood in this today's session. Then we saw the classification of industries on the basis of the size, on the basis of the raw materials, and on the basis of the ownership, right? But we will be learning about the classification in detail in our next session. Children, till then go through this presentation, try to understand the manufacturing process and the meaning of the term industry. So see you in the next session with the classification in the detailed way. Till then children, take very good care of your health. Thank you.